Hey people, it is Friday, May the 28th. It is 1:31 in the afternoon. And it is a very cold and miserable 2 degrees Celsius with an actual wind chill factor of -2. It's a drastic change from the weather just a couple of days ago when it was 30 degrees with the humidex. And I couldn't walk 2 blocks without being drenched in sweat. And now I'm regretting not bringing my gloves because my hand is already freezing just from holding my camera for a minute. So this will be a fun walk. And I'll be walking along Davenport Road, right here from where it starts at Yonge Street, and with Church Street on the other side. So I'll walk up Davenport as far as Dupont Street, and then I'll start looping back down. And I'll probably come back down into the core along Avenue Rd. And it is windy. And did I say miserable? It's miserable out here. This is like a bizarre one-day weather system. So tomorrow things will be somewhat back to normal. But just for this one day we get to experience weather from a couple of months ago. And I'm really regretting not bringing my gloves. It was actually snowing a little bit. Just a little while ago, just over an hour ago, when I was still home looking out my window, I was like, are those snowflakes? You gotta be kidding me. So this was almost a snow walk if I came out a little earlier. I think the temperature's supposed to get up to 10 degrees today, but I don't see that happening until much later in the day. There's a look down Bay Street. It's going down south into the heart of downtown. Oh, and did I mention just right before I started the video, I got splashed by a car. This lame brain drove through a puddle at about 100 miles an hour. And luckily I leaped back and missed the bulk of the splash, but it did catch me down my leg and on my arm. If I didn't leap back at the last second, I would have been drenched across my entire body. So hey, a leg and an arm is not so bad. I can handle that. That kid's umbrella turned inside out. So Davenport Road is a major street that goes across the city from east to west, but then, or from west to east, either way. But then once it approaches downtown, it suddenly veers more to the southeast in a long curving arc, and eventually concludes at Yonge Street. Where Church Street begins. I've done another video walking along most of Davenport Road, starting from its westernmost end. And I called it the Street of Staircases because most of Davenport Road is built along the shoreline of an ancient lake bed. And so there's a very drastic elevation on the north side of Davenport Road. And all the houses and apartment buildings lining the street are on top of this elevation, and they have these huge staircases from the sidewalk up to the entrance to the buildings. And it's actually pretty interesting, pretty cool. I walked up a few of the staircases. You can see the street is lined with these kind of historic old row houses with boutiques and galleries. We're sort of at the northern edge of the Yorkville neighborhood. That's looking south into Yorkville. It's very noisy here. With the wet pavement, the traffic tends to make a lot more noise. crossing Avenue Road. We'll come back to Avenue Road later on. And I've got soakers now too, to add to this oh so wonderful walk. The street has not been too affected yet by development. It's kind of retained its old character for decades, but as you can see, some new developments are appearing along the street now. This is sort of like the northernmost part of what would be considered downtown Toronto. Anything north of here would be considered Midtown by most people. Some people would consider north of Bloor to be Midtown. But I think most people still consider Davenport Road to be downtown and not Midtown. Well, there would be a CN Tower view, except it's all shrouded in fog. So no CN Tower. That's a nice gritty old building there. Buckingham Cigarettes. I wonder how old that old sign is. I'm guessing like 100 years old. Davenport Road Animal Hospital. Want some plastic surgery on your face? And another new development. There you can see some of the skyscrapers in the Yorkville area. You can see One Bloor East, and the Four Seasons, and Manulife Center, and the Uptown Residences. This wind is not good. And here we are at Dupont Road. So I think what I'll do here is I will head back to the east along Dupont. To where it ends at Avenue Road, and then I will head south on Avenue Road. And Davenport continues up into Midtown, and then it veers to the west again and runs the most of its length in an east-west fashion to that area I described before with all the staircases. There's a look west down Dupont Street. So this is the easternmost part of Dupont Street here. It actually concludes, comes to an end at Avenue Road.
I went all the way down there.
This end of Dupont Street is actually quite nice. To the west of here, Dupont is a mix of commercial and industrial with some residential, but here it's solidly residential. And it suddenly got very quiet. That will change as soon as we get back to Avenue Road. And I think my hand is frozen to my camera. All right, and there's the Hare Krishna Church. I'm gonna make sure I don't get splashed again. I'm gonna try to stay on this side of the sidewalk. I see any cars approaching. Church of the Messiah. Very nice building. Here's another look at the Hare Krishna Church. If George Harrison was still alive and visited Toronto, I'm sure that's where he'd go. That's a cute little row of businesses there. Alright, now here we are back at Davenport Road, so here's why we'll continue south here on Avenue Road, as I mentioned before when I passed by here the first time. And look, it's my flower shop. Got competition on either side. Yang's Flower Market, I don't think so. Yonge Flower Market, no way. Ken's Flowers, heck yeah, that's the place to go. This is the flower district here. Alright, I just had to restart my video because I realized that it had stopped recording. And I was almost to Bloor Street. I was literally just steps from Bloor Street when I realized that my camera was no longer recording. So then I had to find some place out of the rain to look at the footage to see where it stopped. And once you know it, it stopped recording way up here. And I didn't even know it, and I was walking and talking the whole time. And that just sucks big time. Luckily, it was only about a 5-minute walk to get back up here again, but still, in these conditions, it's not ideal. So now I'm going to keep an eye on that little red blinking dot. I'm not going to let that happen again. Looks like a new development is going in here. No doubt it will be upscale. Most of the apartments and condos here are very much expensive. This is the western boundary of the Yorkville neighborhood. Here we have Whole Foods and Yorkville Village. This is a small upscale shopping mall that used to be known as Hazelton Lanes. Soul Cycle. Here we have a gallery. And the wind is really trying to blow my umbrella inside out, but I am not letting it. Proposal for a new 29-story building. Oh, and here's one of the old coffee houses that used to be found throughout the Yorkville neighborhood back when it was a bohemian district that later became a hippie neighborhood. And there's looking into Yorkville along Yorkville Avenue. A couple weeks back I did a live stream where I walked through Yorkville. That's up on my channel if you'd like to take a look. Okay. Walking by a new condo tower, and this is the old Four Seasons Hotel, which is converted to condos now. And I believe the Four Seasons Hotel chain is actually based here in Toronto. And there's a look down Cumberland Street into Yorkville. There you can see the new Four Seasons Hotel popping up. And you can see 2/3 of the CN Tower. Everything above the sky pod is covered in fog or mist. It's okay, this tower's closed, so there's nobody in there whose view is obscured anyway. Here we are at Bloor. So I think this is where I will wrap up this walk, this miserable, cold, rainy, windy walk with soakers and frozen hands. So if you enjoyed my miserable stroll through the elements, leave a comment below and like and share, and of course subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there's links in the description for both my PayPal and my new merch store, and you can also find me on Instagram under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue.